Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, and hello from not so sunny Belgium. We just had a very nice 2 week break with the kids here, and while the weather wasn't that kind, we still had plenty of fun, plenty of things to do, and I wanted to share which two watches I brought along with me and why I chose these ones. So yeah, we had some pretty bad weather at the Formula One Grand Prix here in Belgium. It's an amazing track, probably the most beautiful in the world. Friday, Saturday sessions were marred by the rain, but on Sunday we did have a full dry race. That was really cool. My son loved it, of course, and we had very good seats. We also got to visit a very nice castle. My daughter felt like a princess in there. We visited the famous Atomium in Brussels and the nearby Mini Europe. All good fun. And we did a few more cool activities. There's a lot of great things to see in Brussels. For example, the Auto World is something I would really recommend, and they have a pop-up exhibition of the James Bond vehicles. That was really fantastic to discover. But even without that, so many incredible, very old cars in great conditions from Europe, from America. All sorts of interesting things to discover there. So, which watches did I take with me? My good old staple, the Explorer 39 millimeter, is just perfect because you get to have a nice Rolex with you that, always very reliable and feels good on the wrist with the Easy Link and the great lume. But this one is a bit under the radar. I mean, Belgium is not really a dangerous kind of place. But you never know. I will say that some parts of some cities, sometimes even in central, they get a bit dodgy. There's a lot of unsavory characters about, so I'm not really that fond of hanging out too long in the city centers anymore. Here, it really depends on the city, the time, and the place. But nevertheless, we did see some beautiful things in Brussels, and this watch slightly under the radar. Always fantastic on the wrist. It's basically my go-to when I travel. After all, it is called the Explorer, and I like to pair it with something else. So if it's a sunny destination with the beach and all that, I will pair it probably with a diver. But in this case, I wanted more of a travel watch, and it was a good chance to test in the wild my recently acquired Omegasemester Aquaterra World Timer. Very convenient when you land. You don't need to stop the watch. You can just adjust the hour hand to the local time. The rest doesn't change. The cities are fixed around the dial. And once you have set the center portion, indicating the night and day hours, it will turn it. That doesn't change, of course. And so you can also adjust the date if need be. If you have a long flight, just by changing your local hour hand at the first click of the crown. Super power reserve, 150 meters, and a magnetic, which is great because they make you sometimes put the watch under the X-ray at the airport. Usually it's okay. Like in Hong Kong, for example, you can just wear it. But in Europe, they are more sensitive. I suppose in Paris it was the case where we transferred, so I had to put them in the tray. No problem here, and I think this one is fine. And the more recent Rolex won't be affected either. Both keep very good time. So here it's a nice balance because we have more color. We have the moonshine gold all over the dial. Of course, the beautiful northern hemisphere. There's a date, the water resistance, and sometimes, most of the time, I like to wear a bracelet. But sometimes it gets a bit tiring on the wrist. So it's nice to switch to something very soft. These new straps with the little bumps at the back are super comfortable, and you tuck in the excess under the single deployant clasp. You have a bit of a nice movement to look at. Yes, it's machined, but I think it's beautifully machined with the arabesque finish. And yeah, two barrels, so neither watch ran out of power. I would just switch every couple of days. It's nice to have something very different and a bit of fun and try out a new watch. I was hesitating with a Tudor GMT, but it's a bit closer to Rolex, so it's nice to have an Omega, something very different. So while the Rolex is obviously a keeper, this one so far so good. Everything is going well, and the darker green is easy to pair with any clothing. It doesn't really clash with anything, and we'll see if it's a long term keeper. It's a very great wall timer to use anytime, any place. If you have the bracelet version, it's a 43 millimeter watch, so it wears very big. I like that this rubber strap pairs down that mass, and this little detail here is very nice as well. This little extra piece of metal here near the case. You have virtually unscratchable bezel in ceramic. Only thing I find a bit odd is right now it's 10:45, but you will see Bien is the time zone. It shows 9:45 because there's no indication of the daylight savings, and right now it's the summertime, so many destinations are wrong for many time of the year. And unlike many people say in the comments, yeah, there's a different color coding for the cities that have daylight savings. I just don't see it. Those little arrows don't mean that at all. It just helps to indicate the precisely the time zone. See the ones here use the main index, the one in the middle use the little arrow. There's no indication of daylight savings at all on this watch, unlike on my Chopard Traveler 1, or for example on the JLC world timers. It's the same problem with the Patek watches. You pay a lot of money, but they're wrong most of the time. So I find that a bit bizarre that you have to remember where there is the daylight saving, or that there is not a system to indicate it a bit better. Other cities that don't change the time for the winter and for the summer are always correct. So back home right now, it's 4 in the afternoon in the Beijing time zone, and in Tokyo it's 5 in the afternoon. And then that gives you the hour, and then the minute is read independently. It is here, 46 minutes. Other quirk of this watch is that there is no minute marker between the every 5 minute marker, so there is nothing at all, so you just have to eyeball it. I'm guessing we're going on 47 now. It's 46 and 50 seconds. So to set the time, you better do it on a 5 minute increment basis. Anyway, you have the laser etched northern hemisphere looking very good, and it's a bit of a showpiece. It's a lot of fun to wear. It's been very comfortable, and I think it was a great choice for this holiday. Neither watch has let me down. So guys, let me know a bit what you've been doing for the summer holidays. Which watches did you take with you? Let me know all that in the comments. And if you like these watches, if you like the little snippets of Belgium, give the video a like. See you soon back in Hong Kong. Bye bye.